Perfect. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining into our Fireside chat. We got a very special guest here, Simone. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, I mean, as you guys know, today we're launching on Fantom. You're going to be able to borrow my directly on Fantom against your favorite assets. Of course, pending our governance vote, which I'm pretty sure is leaning in one direction, 99.9% in favor. So pretty sure that's going to pass. But yeah, we want to learn a little bit more about Simone, you yourself as well as what you guys are building on Fantom. So I think a good place to start would be to hear a little bit about yourself and how you got into crypto.
For sure. So this is a funny story. So I got into crypto at the end of 2013. And when this friend of mine, this coworker of mine back then, Mark, thank you very much, Mark, he introduced me to Bitcoin. So unfortunately, his explanation was very confused and very, very hard to understand. They started explaining Bitcoin to me, talking about difficulty. And of course, I couldn't understand what he was talking about, and he couldn't understand either. So I ignored it for a few months. Then, of course, I checked back towards the end of 2013, and the price had gone up, I don't know, 60%, 80%. I was like, this sounds like a good time to buy some Bitcoin. It makes sense after it made, almost doubled in price. So I went ahead and did that, and of course, bought the top back then. Forgot all about it, came back in 2017 under very similar circumstances. So, random event of a friend talking to me about something that I thought he was talking about Bitcoin, but he was talking, I don't know what about, not crypto. But it kind of reminded me of that. So went back, fell into the rabbit hole this time. I really wanted to understand what cryptocurrency were, what Bitcoin was, and I never left since then. So this is my intro to crypto.
That's really cool. And then what about how did you get introduced to the Phantom?
That's the segue. So of course, the 2017 was madness. So lots of public and private groups, lots of new friends made on Telegram, and one of these was Michael Chen. And Michael Chen was started working at Phantom back then, way before, of course, the sale. And and a few mutual friends also were either working with Phantom or anyway they were aware of Phantom. And I didn't participate in the sale actually, but I don't know how I got very passionate about it right after it went live. And of course, there was a huge dump because it was the beginning of the bear market. Everyone was looking for, like a safe way of, not losing money, which means selling their tokens. And then I never left. So I was one of the very first community members of Phantom. I actually organized an event a few months later at the beginning of 2019 in New York City. It was a meetup with Phantom, Holochain, and IOTA. And Phantom sent Andre Cronje, and it was amazing, great experience. I had talked to him before on the phone, but meeting him in person was really incredible. And so we had this fun meetup. It was fun because, of course, I mean, it's on YouTube. You can watch it. It's hilarious because Phantom did a better job at explaining IOTA and Holochain than their respective speakers. So it was not only explaining Phantom, of course, presenting Phantom, but it was also, uh, you know, kind of, doing the other people job better than they were doing. So it was quite amazing. Then we kept in touch, and at the end of 2019, I got offered a position at the foundation. So of course I jumped on it. It was exactly was what I was looking for, and yeah, so I started working at Phantom officially in January 2020. But I had done a lot of community work for the past year and a half, for the previous year and a half.
Yeah. During kind of like the down spells in the crypto world and everything along those lines, what kept you in the space?
Well, it is a really, really good question. What kept me in the space, I guess it's, well, I guess what I believe in is very aligned with the cryptocurrency ethos and general vision, right? I do believe that we're going towards a future where the individual will be much more important than, let's say, countries or states or anything like that, right? Where we're moving towards a very digital future where these geographic barriers and borders really don't make much sense. We're moving towards a future where you live doesn't really matter, meaning that you can live really anywhere in the world and work for any company. You can live in the US and work for a, I don't know, Japanese company, or you can live in Australia and work for a, I don't know, a German company. So based on that, of course, crypto makes so much sense. If we just think about payments, for example, I mean, uh, paying people, uh, workers, that live in different countries, can be a very, very big problem most of the times. And crypto solves this, of course, and this just one very, very niche of what cryptocurrencies can do. But let's call it digital money, right? This digitalization of money that we're seeing, that is spilling in these amazing and creative ideas that we're seeing every day in DeFi. So yeah, I would say that was what really kept me into crypto, besides, of course, the community aspect, right? This sort of social aspect that was not present before, ever present before, with fiat money, right?
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I think especially with COVID, a lot of teams are completely spread out. Like, I know across the world. I mean, even in our DAO, we have contributors. We might not even know where they're from.
And it
Just like
doesn't matter, to be
it
honest. It
doesn't
really
matter.
doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all it matters is the output, right? Like, do you do your work, do you do
exactly.
it well? And yeah, so I totally agree with you. I think it's pretty cool how that's changing. Now, for some people that might not be as familiar, could you talk about, what is Phantom, and I guess how is it different from other blockchains?
Sure. So Phantom is a layer 1 network. The very big difference is that it's built on an ABFT consensus mechanism, so asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerant consensus. And that's sort of the secret sauce of Phantom. With this ABFT consensus called lattices, transactions on Phantom are can reach an average of average confirmation of 1 second, so very, very fast compared, say, to Bitcoin or Ethereum. And they're also very cheap. We're talking, depending on the type of transactions, uh, they range from a fraction of a cent to a few cents. So this is a very, very big difference, compared to what people are used to, or were used to, before this sort of explosion of alternative layer ones with Ethereum. And of course, Phantom is fully EVM compatible. So if you're a developer or developer team and you deployed your protocol on Ethereum, it's super easy to deploy it on Phantom. It's much cheaper, much cheaper to deploy a protocol and smart contracts on Phantom, and it's also very fast. This is for developers. For end users, of course, the user experience changes completely, right? On Ethereum right now, if you want a fast transaction, and fast transaction on Ethereum is still 15, 30, 45 seconds, you have to pay 10, 20, 30, 40, $50, depending on the smart contract interaction. On Phantom instead, as I said, confirmation transactions are finalized and confirmed in average of 1 second, and they cost very, very little. So we're seeing that end users really, really love the user experience on Phantom. It really makes it more accessible for everyone.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's not like you have to make a financial decision every time you have a transaction. It's you kind of click confirm and don't really worry about it. I guess compared to other L2s, how would you differentiate? Like, you got Avalanche, you got Polygon, you have a lot of little different like L2s popping up. What makes Phantom different, or what's kind of
Yeah.
like your niche?
Yeah. So the first big differentiation is that Phantom is not a layer two, and Avalanche is not layer two. And the only layer two that actually, not even Polygon. I wouldn't consider Polygon a layer two. It's more of a side chain. Layer two are more like Arbitrum and well, the other one that I'm forgetting the name, but The big difference, of course, is that layer twos and side chains such as Polygon, they still rely on Ethereum for their security, meaning that if Ethereum for any reason goes down or it becomes super expensive, like it happened a few months ago, sidechains like Polygon, for example, can have issues, and that's what happened exactly with Polygon, right? So Polygon, the way that it works, it has to confirm sort of it has some checkpoints that it has to write on the Ethereum blockchain, and if gas is too expensive, then validators fall behind, and then the whole thing's crumble. Fantom is not like that, and other layer ones are like that. Layer ones are basically comparable to Ethereum. So Ethereum has miners, will have validator nodes once it moves to proof of stake, and Fantom has validators as well. Avalanche has validators, Solana has validators, BSC has validators, and so on. So all these layer ones don't rely on their security and their liveliness on depending on other networks. That's a very big and important thing. So Fantom is at the moment is secured by around almost 50 validator nodes. And now the differences between Fantom and the other alternatives. So let's say Polygon, Solana, Avalanche. So first thing is big differentiation once again is that Fantom is EVM compatible, so Solana isn't at the moment. So that already puts it in a different category. And generally speaking, Fantom is among the fastest layer ones. I would say it's as fast as Avalanche. Polygon is much slower. However, it's much cheaper than Avalanche. Not as cheap as Polygon, but I think it really found Fantom found the sweet spot between the sort of not expensive transactions of Polygon and the fast finality of Avalanche, so to speak. But anyway, these not to talk bad about other protocols and other chains. I'm a huge fan of anyone that is building things at this point in time, because I do believe that the future is going to be multi-chain and cross-chain. So there's in X amount of time, end users don't really and shouldn't really care about, and they shouldn't even see what chain they're using. It's all blockchains are a back-end technology. It really doesn't matter if I'm using Fantom or whatever chain. What matters is the user experience. So we're really focused on the user experience to make that user experience as seamless as possible and as similar as possible at what people are used to, which means you go on Amazon, you click stuff, you buy stuff. So can we get a blockchain that can behave the same way? So I click stuff, I don't spend like $50 to do the click, and that click I don't have to wait 30 seconds or minutes until I get the result of what I'm doing. So that's I would say we're succeeding at that.
Yeah, how do we actually get to that point? And I know that you had touched upon builders and all of that, kind of Fantom being a fantastic place for builders. How are you attracting different builders to come and build on top of you guys?
That's a really good question. So I would say we have a practical way and a more Fantom intrinsic way. The Fantom intrinsic way is the community. So anyone that comes to Fantom immediately realizes how the Fantom community is different, and the Fantom community meaning the uh, the whole community in general. So everyone in the community is very welcoming, very open, very helpful to each other one, and especially newcomers, right? Um, but also the developer community. Developer community is so open with each other. They really they just help each other out. Even competitive protocols, let's say competitive dexes, they're still in touch with each other. And if there's really some big issue, they just come together. And a good example of this, it wasn't really an issue, but a couple of months ago, we integrated Coinbase wallet on Fantom, and we had to coordinate very last minute to go live. And in a matter of, I would say, a couple of hours, we had Spirit Swap, Spooky Swap, Scream, Reaper Farm, and a couple of other protocols coordinating with each other to make this happen. This is something that honestly I haven't seen in other blockchains yet. So this is a very very I would say sweet thing that really belongs to Fantom at the moment. The very practical thing, how to actually attract developers. We the beginning of September, we announced the biggest DeFi incentive program up to, actually, I think the other day, then Binance, decided to do the 1 billion program. But, we did announce our 370 million FTM incentive program. At the moment is worth around, I believe, maybe 700 million dollars or something like that, maybe a little bit less, but it's still huge. And developers love the way that we framed the incentive rewards
Oh yeah.
program.
Yeah.
So, and we hear this a lot, right, from people that are also building on other layer ones, how Fantom is different regarding to that, because our incentive program is very programmatic, meaning that as a protocol, you do this, you meet this requirement, no matter what, you get these rewards. You follow these rules, you get that. You do this, you get that. No reward, no surprises, fully transparent, and it's as simple as that. And this is a very unique approach. It's again, Andre and Michael Kong and Michael Chen were behind the idea of this new system of rewarding protocols. And unlike other other incentive programs that reward the end users directly, we reward the teams building on Fantom. Meaning that let's take an example of Spooky Swap. Spooky Swap has, I don't know, 300, 400 million TVL on Fantom. They qualify for the highest incentive rewards, and we give to them what we promised. Now, what they do with their rewards is completely up to them. They can decide to use all of it or part of it for liquidity mining, to incentivize end users, or they can also use it for expenses,
Mhm.
company expenses, hiring people or marketing, whatever they want to use. So this is also another breakthrough, because before then it was just, okay, we reward X protocol to for liquidity mining. So we decided, no, I mean, protocols, they should be able to decide. They know best, they know better than us
Mhm.
how to use those rewards.
Right, especially now with DAOs, right? Like it's not like people have bad intentions with like the money that they get. And I love the fact that you guys structure it like that. There's so much back and forth, I think, with other, protocols. Like, you gotta craft a proposal. Do you do it right? Are you pushing the right people? Are you lobbying enough? But with Fantom is okay, just launch and here's what you do. And that just takes a lot of time off our shoulders. So it's very, very nice.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely. And for the builders that are watching, maybe touch a little bit deeper into that like grant program. So it's based off of TVL, correct?
Correct. So right now, actually, we expanded it also to GameFi, and we're expanding it to DEX aggregators and NFTs. But for now, we have the requirements and the specifications just for DeFi protocols and gaming projects. So for DeFi protocols, there are 4 tiers, and it's based on TVL, as you were mentioning. So it's quite simple. So as a DeFi protocol, you have to meet a minimum of $5 million in TVL on Fantom. If you meet the minimum, then you can apply for the incentive program. Um, After that, a 2 months cliff starts. During those 2 months, as a protocol, you have to maintain that minimum level. If you fall below the 5 million, the cliff pauses, and then starts again once the protocol goes back up the $5 million TVL. Then after the 2 months expire, then the rewards start happening. So we send the rewards vested over 12 months. So the whole amount is divided by 12, and every month we send it to the protocol. And so the 4 tiers are 5 million, 50 million, 100 million, and 200 million TVL. And they get, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I believe 1 million FTM in 1 year, 1.8 million, and then 5 million and 12 million, if I'm not mistaken. But you guys can check out the blog article on our blog for the
That's
actual
very
numbers.
generous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's really, really good rewards, and people are loving
Especially
it.
now that FTM is mooning, right?
Yeah, that's the other thing. People, as I said, protocols, they're not required to use them all as liquidity mining, or at all. We just basically we we just shift that decision to the protocols. As I said, they know better. You guys know better what to do with the rewards and how to keep that TVL. Because one thing that you mentioned, of course, if the TVL go during the 12 months falls below the 5 million, of course the rewards stop. However, if it goes up, so if you, for the 5 million, the first year goes to 50 million, goes to 100 million, to 200 million, the protocol gets more rewards, of course.
yeah.
So it's very dynamic.
No, I love the way that you guys structured that one, and I mean, also having the 2 month cliff and all that kind of stuff means that projects have to stay around for a while in order to get the rewards, which hopefully will mean that there's less short term projects, more long term projects. Have you seen or noticed any gamifying of this? Like how people might try and game the system in terms of like TVL and um, just
Um,
the rewards, or
Not really. I mean, it's not easy to game the TVL. I mean, you can game it maybe at for a short period of time and just for the minimum requirement. But I mean, it's very, very hard to game it in the long term.
exactly,
So yeah,
especially over a 12-month period of time.
Yeah, that's a lot of
yeah,
time. That's basically 10 years in crypto. So
yeah.
imagine how many cycles we can go through in
Oh man.
12 months. Just this summer, I guess we went through a couple. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so speaking about the projects, like building on Fantom, what does Fantom, or what does an ecosystem really need to be successful?
Hmm. Well, that's a really good point. I would say even before having the specific projects on board, um, I would say the community is super important because you can have whatever mm, tech, but if you don't have people that want to build and people that want to use it and people that are passionate about what you're building regardless of the price of the token, because that's very important. Everyone is super happy and bullish um, when the price goes up, but how many are going to stick around when the price goes down? Now I would say that Fantom has had Fantom was born in a bear market, and there was of course a huge pain because a lot of people were down on their investment. So we went through, I don't know, a couple of years of very unpleasant times. There were hard times as a community and as team members as well, because no matter how you're building, how hard you're building, but your efforts aren't seen because the token price goes down. However, those that stuck around for those 2 years, they got, of course, or whatever. They got rewarded. Sometimes my English is, it's mixing with Italian, so it's not great. They got very well rewarded, but those 2 years of hard times created a very, very strong core community of Phantom that really supports us, and we're extremely grateful for that. Now, I would say that that's really uh, a part that is fundamental at this point in Phantom. And then regarding protocols, I mean, it was a little bit hard to get some traction at the beginning, of course, because there were no projects, so
Mhm.
nobody really wants to be the first. But and in fact, that's why the very first projects that came to Phantom, that actually were built in Phantom, came from the community itself, from developers that were part of the Phantom community. So Spirit Swap, Spooky Swap, these were the first. Then Curve was one of the very first protocols to launch on Phantom, because they've always been in touch with us. They've been very friendly. Um, and then everything else came after. It was a little bit of a slow start, but not really, and then it really went exponential. So we
Right.
started seeing, lending, and with Scream, we started seeing amazing auto compounders like um, Grim or Reaper, Liquid Driver, and so on. I mean, it's really really great stuff, and we're seeing more and more coming, right? So I'm sure you guys saw Geist last week, which is an Aave fork, and it's amazing. There's Beethoven X now. All these really, really, really cool protocols that are launching on Phantom.
The growth has been amazing over the last few weeks. Like it's insane. It's
Yeah,
insane.
you should see some of the charts, man. It's pretty crazy. Now, you did mention in some of those names, Halloween related, themes. Could you tell us a little bit about that? Is that like a plan? Is that what you guys had behind the Phantom name?
Not really. I mean, it was completely random, and it all started with Spirit and Spooky. Spirit and Spooky were the first two dexes to launch on Phantom back in February, I believe, and they just played with the name Phantom, Phantom of the Opera, right? And it's like, oh, okay, that sounds like we could do a spooky theme, and then this spooky theme kind of spread across the other protocols. So we had Scream, Reaper, Grim, and then I don't remember them all, but all of them, Geist, Beethoven X, Tomb Finance, and so on. Actually, one protocol that I forget most of the times is Zoo. Zoo one was probably the very first to
Okay.
launch on Phantom. Yeah.
It makes it really easy for me when I hear the name. I know, okay, that's on Phantom. I know for sure.
Yeah,
That's, I would say, I'd like to take ownership and that, because it's a great marketing strategy, but we were not involved at all. But as you said, it's easy, right? Yeah, you say spooky, exactly where
right.
that is deployed on.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're
Exactly.
working with, I think, Beethoven X, and they have like zombie looking Beethoven and musicians, and
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to just kind of see like the whole Halloween thing. I bet now that Halloween's coming up,
Oh
it's
my
gonna be pretty special Halloween, especially with like your rice. Is there anything special planned?
Not really. I mean, the cool thing is, I mean, not really from us, but I'm sure that the teams are preparing, and I know actually for sure, some of them that are doing some really cool stuff. Um, but the other cool thing is that Halloween is going to be right after the developer conference, right? There's going to be the very big developer conference in Abu Dhabi in 2 weeks. No, not even in 10 days. 10 days
Yeah,
from
it's coming
now.
up.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be a nice a nice climbing up in preparation of to the Halloween drop, so to speak. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen.
Oh,
Yeah,
exactly.
Kila's a big Halloween fan, so I'm pretty sure we'll have some sort of Halloween party there.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I get excited about things. In, in terms of the developer conference, you mentioned it's going to be in Abu Dhabi. How can people get more information about it? How can developers, be a part of it? Maybe they can't travel, or they can. Is there a way that, or place that they should find information?
Yeah. So there's a website that is phantomdc.com. So phantomdeveloperconference.com, but DC. And so, as I said, it's in Abu Dhabi. It's from October 25th to October 29th. It's going to be amazing. They just released the team just released the agenda, and there's really a lot of cool speakers. Andre will be there
Yeah, I
in
saw.
person. Yes, it's something that really doesn't happen often at all. I will be there. Michael Kong will be there from Australia. Who else? Of course, Harry Roger Ver from Bitcoin.com will be there as well, plus a lot of builders. Now, the speakers will be, some will be in person, some others will be virtual because of of course the COVID situation, and of course you can join as a viewer both in person or in or virtually. um, for developers, I would say that uh, if you would like to speak at the conference, let me know, get in touch with me. I can't promise anything at this moment because the schedule is pretty much full. But I know that you guys are actually going to coordinate and organize a super cool hackathon, given your experience with hackathons. And I know that Chainlink and Covalent and other teams want to participate in the hackathon as well. So it's going to be really, really cool. And yeah, I would say that's it. I mean, absolutely. Come to Abu Dhabi if you can, or join us remotely. It's gonna be a great event.
Yeah, and one thing to the community listening, the Phantom team has been very amazing and responsive and all that kind of stuff. So when he says reach out, it's not one of those things that you'll just be waiting for a message and he's going to leave you on red. They've been amazing.
Thank you.
um, let's kind of dive deeper into, I guess, like the future of Phantom. How do you guys continue to like innovate? What kind of upgrades do you have in the plan? Yeah,
Yeah.
talk through that.
So, of course, our focus is the consensus mechanism, right? That's our the specialty basically.
Mhm.
So we're continuously improving on that to make it possibly faster. I mean, the latest upgrade that we did back in April basically halved the time of the finality time from
Mhm.
around 2 seconds to around an average of 1 second. Now it could be a little bit slower now because we're working on some fixes on the consensus, but we're still talking 1 second, 1.5 seconds maybe. So totally acceptable. And of course, improvement at the consensus will be geared towards improving, of course, the finality time, but also the transaction costs. Um, we have to deal, unfortunately, with the Ethereum virtual machine, and the Ethereum virtual machine really acts as a bottleneck for Phantom, right? So we can't push it as much as we would want because the Ethereum virtual machine
Mhm.
just kind of blocks the improvements, so to speak, up to a certain extent. That's why we're working on the Phantom virtual machine, the FVM. The Phantom virtual machine will be fully compatible with Ethereum, will be Solidity compatible, and should and will basically remove all the barriers that we're struggling with the EVM. We don't have a timeline yet. I think Andre mentioned that it should come in 2022. I would be even maybe be more careful and say even 2023 because it's a really big thing. But of course, if it comes earlier, I'm super happy. So I would say that this is what we're focusing on in the long term. And then in a little bit of near future, we're releasing the new updated wallet, completely redesigned Phantom wallet that is going to act as a sort of all-in-one DeFi suite. So besides having the regular wallet functions such as send, receive, stake, on-chain governance, both for proposing proposals and voting on proposals. We're also going to have DEX aggregators and yield aggregators within the wallet, so users can just log in the wallet and just do their DeFi operation right from the wallet itself.
That's amazing. Okay, so just making it overall easier for anyone to really use. I think that's the way that you're going to reach you know the next mass of people. I think right now there's definitely like a DeFi community that we kind of know the type, but if we want to expand out, we'll definitely have to make that a little bit easier. Um, what other plans like do you have for trying to reach out to some of like the non-traditional crypto people? I know for myself, I was actually really surprised. I was watching Formula One, and I noticed Pierre Gasly. He had a recognizable logo
Yeah.
on his hat, and I was like, wait, is that Phantom? And then I was like, I googled and I was like, yeah, you guys are sponsoring, like Pierre Gasly and the
Yeah.
AlphaTauri team. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's of course, first thing is thanks to Harry. Harry is early investor in Phantom, long time supporter of Phantom. I would say it's almost now an extension of the team because he's doing such a lot of great work for us. And he did sponsor Pierre Gasly with the Phantom logo, so
ah,
that's great. And Pierre himself is a huge Phantom fan, and he holds Phantom So it's very cool because it's not just okay, we put the logo on, on this random guy and that's it.
Mm.
He's actually, he's interested in what we're doing and he's passionate about it. And so yeah, we're sponsoring that, and I believe the sponsorship will be also renewed for next year. I'm not sure, but I surely think so. We're also similarly to what we're doing with Formula One, we're doing it also with MotoGP. So for
Okay.
those of you guys, yeah, that follow the bikes, the MotoGP, we sponsor Petronas Racing, so Valentino Rossi, and I don't remember the other pilot, but yeah, it's great for me as uh, I, I think we're almost the same age, me and Valentino. So, and I remember I was in high school when Valentino was 15, and he started racing, and he was this incredible kid that was breaking all the records. So for me to see, in the last year of his career, to see the Phantom logo on Valentino's
That's
suit and bike is pretty nice.
that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So I see a theme of speed here. So Phantom
Yeah.
Phantom speed, F1, MotoGP. Okay.
When are we
Yeah.
gonna see the Phantom logo on Inter Milan?
Well, let's see. Let's see. Let's see about soccer, but or football.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's pretty
Maybe
crazy
one
because
day.
a lot of people talk about blockchain about being this like esoteric, intangible thing, but then you start seeing in real world assets, right? Like in like teams, as you guys said, like you sponsoring. Of course, FTX is sponsoring the an arena. I forgot the
Yeah, the
name.
Yeah, the
Miami.
Miami
Miami.
Arena. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like in your face. Crypto's here to stay.
yeah.
I love to see it.
And yesterday, actually, Binance sponsored the Lazio team. It's his.
Really? Wow. Okay, I'm a big
Yeah,
football fan. If you haven't
oh,
noticed, so that's insane for
yeah,
Lazio. Wow, I gotta get the shirt now.
yeah. And I think that Crypto.com is sponsoring Paris Saint Germain, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway,
You're
I think
kidding.
we're. Yeah, I think.
It's going insane here.
Yeah, I think we're going to see way more of these things because, or thanks to NFTs, right? Let's see what's going to happen with NFTs
Mhm.
and social tokens and stuff like that. Because I think there's some really good things that aren't explored yet with NFTs in particular. So I think we'll see a lot more of these sort of, interplays of especially sports and crypto projects.
I mean, we're happy to dive in deeper if you wanna dive in deeper into like NFTs and DeFi and
Yeah, Kila's
gaming.
our in-house degen. So
Okay.
I mean, us when we like NFTs, all of our vaults are NFTs. You can actually like trade the debt positions on OpenSea as if
Nice.
it was like a crypto punk or something. Uh, so
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's
awesome.
definitely
That
cool.
that 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 type of use of NFTs is one of those that is not too explored. So I'm, very happy to hear that you guys are doing something like that because yeah, I mean right now it's just pretty JPEGs, but NFTs can be pretty or not pretty depending. Can be way more than that. So I'm also very excited about redeemable NFTs. Right, we,
Right.
we started seeing some of those. You buy an NFT,
Yes.
you can redeem it for say some physical item or some real life experience, or you own this NFT and they will give you access to certain event or something like that. So it's great. So I'm very happy. And speaking of NFTs, I'm also uh, very happy to see what's happening on Phantom right now with all the NFT boom that we're seeing on Phantom. And part is because, of course, it's part of the NFT wave, right? That is kind of expanding to Phantom, but part of it is how easy it is to meet NFTs or trade NFTs on Phantom, right? Because
Mhm.
on Ethereum, everyone is knows about the gas wars on Ethereum to mint NFTs, and it's insane. To be honest, sometimes you end up paying more for the transaction fee than the cost of the NFT itself, which doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
And on Phantom is not like that. So it's a very big shift in user experience.
Right. Yeah. I only use Ethereum for like the bare necessities, like things that I can't can't do anywhere else. But
Right.
slowly but surely, you can do anything on other chains as well now. So
Yeah,
I
especially
mean,
now that oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna like hop on that. I had to make like a payment like on the Ethereum chain 2 days ago. It cost me like 400 like $400 just to make the transaction.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wanted to like trade on Uniswap because I bridged the wrong asset, and then it was like $15 to approve. And I'm like, just to approve a token, $15. Like, I don't think I will ever spend $15 on Phantom on all my
no,
transactions. So
yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
yeah. And no, actually, I don't know if you guys are aware, but also AnySwap built an NFT bridge. So
Really?
there's an NFT bridge between Ethereum and Phantom.
So
So it's
yeah, I imagine. I wonder if you could trade our collateralized depositions from
Across chain.
across chain. From I'll have to chat with our devs about that. That's
Yeah.
pretty
yeah, I
cool.
mean, for sure. If if it's only just for the transaction fees, right? It's just you bridge it over to Phantom, then it's on Phantom, and you can trade it, with Phantom transaction fees, and then if you want, you can bring it back to Ethereum.
Are there any chance with like large NFT projects, like maybe OpenSea or something like that, coming to Phantom?
Well, OpenSea, OpenSea in particular, I feel that they were not too happy that we released Arteon. Arteon is Phantom's NFT marketplace that we made open source, and we made it with no fees whatsoever. So any any sale that happens on Arteon is goes to the directly to the seller, or if there are royalties, goes back to the artist. But the platform itself doesn't take any fee. So yeah, I don't think that OpenSea like that. So let's see. Now, Arton itself, we made it open source. So the goal of that was to actually um, push and sort of um, inspire other builders to build other NFT marketplaces on Phantom using maybe Arteon as a starting point.
Right.
Now, it has a few bugs, the V1, but we're releasing V2, I believe, this month at some point with most, if not all, the major fixed. So that will be very exciting. And I know for sure of a couple of teams already working on forks. And there was yesterday actually an NFT marketplace that was announced on Phantom. I think it's X, but I have to double check. I think it's x dot. Yes, it's x dot xyz.
X
Interesting.
dot XYZ. Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, that I believe is an Artium fork with their fixes. Yeah,
Oh, I need some cobwebs and some, pumpkins. I'm missing the spooky. I guess we'll have to get on their Discord, send them over some stuff. Perfect. Yeah, I guess kind of moving more towards your experience within crypto. What excites you about DeFi? What excites you about the crypto space? Moving forward.
that's a really good point. I would say what excites me about DeFi on Phantom specifically is
Mhm.
to see what people can come up with that isn't possible, that wasn't possible before, right? We're seeing already something like that, for example, with Reaper Farm. Reaper is absolutely my favorite project on Phantom. And it's and I've been a fan since months, and the first reason is that they don't have a token yet, so I can talk about it, no problem, because there's no token that people can go buy, so they can just use it. But seeing the traction that they reached, especially at the beginning without a token, it's remarkable. And what Reaper does, it just auto compounds your LPs. So you put your LPs in Reaper, and I think they auto compound like 20 times per hour, something like that.
That's
And
very interesting.
yeah, and Grim does something similar. I mean, now there are a few of them that operate in a similar way. But something like that, it's impossible on Ethereum. Think about doing auto compounding 20 times per hour on Ethereum. It's just not possible, because of the transaction fees. So I would say that's a glimpse of what is possible to do on Phantom that is not possible to do on other chains, maybe. um, so I'm very curious to see what people can come up with, following the same path. So what's possible by leveraging, Phantom fees and Phantom speed that isn't possible on other chains, and maybe also putting in, creative ways of integrating NFTs, as you guys, were mentioning before, and so that's something that I'm really looking forward to. And then define generally I just love it. I love how it just interoperates. All the protocols can kind of you know work as Lego blocks, and
Mhm.
and build on top of each other.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely a big thing for us trying to build on top of each other. Is there a project or something on Phantom that, or not on Phantom, that you really want to see kind of come over? Is there, like, is Phantom missing something that you really want?
You can't say QiDao.
No, I would say this is a very hard question, because if you ask me a couple of months ago, I would tell you, I would have a list.
Yeah,
Now I don't have the list anymore.
that's good.
So I would, yeah, I mean, I would have loved Yearn, and Yearn came. I would
Yeah,
have loved Ave, or Ave like that we have right
Guys,
now,
yeah.
Geist, and not really. And Frax, coming to that's another amazing thing. I'm sure there are, I mean, I know there are more protocols coming over, but I would say that now in Phantom, we do have the full range of DeFi protocols, right? So yeah, as I said, now we're ready to go to the next step, which is, okay, we have all the basics are covered. We got yield optimizers, yield aggregators, dexes. We got lending and borrowing. How do we go to the next step? How do we leverage
yeah.
Phantom properties to to do something super cool with all these sort of ingredients?
Well, it makes it so much better for other projects coming over if they can build on top of all of these different, like you said, Lego pieces. It makes a huge difference. Um, and yeah, now since you have basically everything that anybody wants, I mean, there's no reason not to at least go and check Phantom out.
For
Um,
sure.
and then I guess speaking of some of the projects and Lego pieces, we are launching on Phantom today. Do you have any thoughts in particular about QiDao or what we do? Um, and you can be honest. Don't
No, not really. So, to be honest, I really, really liked our interaction so far. I would say that you guys are. I mean, so I'm not playing favorites at all, and I would say that Phantom attracts a specific kind of builders, and you guys really fit in the the developer community within Phantom. So all Phantom teams are super, super nice people, and you guys, since our first interaction last week or a couple of weeks ago, were very, very nice, very approachable, very down to earth, and exactly, you're simple, you're easy to deal with, which is, it makes it easy for everyone, because we are on the same, we are the same. And so I'm very, very looking forward to your launch, and welcoming you in the Phantom ecosystem. And I know already that you guys are gonna play a key role, because of how proactive you are with the community, right? Organizing the other builders, like you're doing on Telegram, possibly organize the hackathon for the developer conference. So I would say, yeah, great addition to the ecosystem.
Yeah, we're happy to be here. So, we like to hit the ground running.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's been a pleasure so far, really. I mean, the community within Phantom is beautiful, and yeah, we're happy to be part of it. And then also we're happy to just help provide any Phantom user, the ability to really leverage their tokens and use the value of them within the ecosystem. Because I think
Yeah,
that's
without
gonna,
having to go out, maybe go to like Ethereum and then having to come back. I mean, we're in Phantom for in the first place for one reason, right? We don't want to have to go to another chain and then have to come back.
yeah.
Um, Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now, if you had to ask something of like the QiDao community, what would you ask?
Oh, that's a hard question. I like these hard questions. What can I ask the QiDao community? Well, I'll have to get back to you on that one, because I wouldn't really. I mean, I could ask. It's not really. Well, I would ask them to come and try Phantom. That's
Fair,
an easy
fair.
one, just because one thing is to hear about all these things, like, oh yeah, Phantom is fast and cheap and blah blah blah, but never try it. But once you come and try it, you're going to see the difference. And I also invite everyone to try all the other chains, because then you can really make up your mind and make your own decision, right? Go try the others. Go try Avalanche, go try Polygon, and you could really see which one you like best. Which I think it could be Fantom. And without taking away anything from the others,
Right.
Avalanche is really great user experience as well. I think Fantom is still offers a much more, much more seamless user experience. But I can't really say the same for Polygon, for example. Still in the mindset, with the mindset of a greater mass adoption and stuff like that. There are technical hurdles that other chains have to solve before, and I would say that Fantom is quite a bit ahead on that front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
if you ever think of other things that you want to ask, our Discord is very active and very welcoming. So feel free to hop in there, and you can always ask our community stuff. I'm
Of
sure they'd be
course.
willing to respond.
Yeah, as you said, like in my time in crypto, I've learned that one thing is reading about a protocol or a chain, another completely different thing is using it. Right? Until you actually use the protocol, you really don't know what's going on.
Yep.
And yeah, so far I've been using Fantom to test out our stuff. So no problems at all. I've had a good experience so far.
Yep. I mean, also for the new users, if you need gas, you can go over to Spooky's Discord. You can get some gas and make sure you're ready to go and put some assets into our Fantom vaults.
Yeah. Now, we do have these fireside chats often. We try to come back to them weekly. Who would you like to hear from at our next fireside chat? Be it a
Ooh.
project or an individual.
Well, I want to say I would like to say Andre, but he will never do it. But no, not because of you guys. It just doesn't do interviews or fireside chats or anything like that. So, hmm, you know what? Maybe, I mean, if you guys can get the guys, it would be amazing to hear from them, because they built something really cool, and they had to completely, sort of, not completely, but partially reverse engineer Aave. So I would say it would be very interesting to hear both their journey in Phantom, and as well, how is Phantom different from what they were used to before.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we've had Ave here before, so it'd be interesting to see, the
Yeah,
differences.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
guys, you're on notice. We'll be sure to call you out and ask y'all to come over.
yeah, exactly. I think it'd be really cool because like on Polygon we allow people to take their Aave market tokens and use those as collateral, and on Phantom as well we'll be looking at leveraging Geist and kind of including them into the mix and being able to use their tokens as
We love
collateral.
receipt tokens.
Yeah.
Auto compounding receipt tokens, any receipt tokens, we'll take it.
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, Geist, we're coming. We're check out your DMs.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Simon, for your time. It's a pleasure talking with you. We're very excited to be launching these votes later today. As soon as our snapshot votes end, which I'm sure they're gonna pass given current numbers. Yeah, you'll be able to leverage your tokens at 0% interest on Phantom. So very excited for that.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Looking forward for for the launch.
Alrighty.
Perfect.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.